Something explosive is happening behind the scenes, and Blueface has finally decided to spill the truth. But before we get to his confession, let's start with the moment everything fell apart. Imagine this: a late-night event, flashing lights, security trying to keep things calm, and right in the middle of the chaos, Chrisean is pacing back and forth, shaking with rage. She's screaming that she's been betrayed, not by Blueface, but by someone she once thought was harmless. And the name she drops?
Coi Leray.
According to Chrisean, Coi wasn't just being friendly, she was quietly trying to slide her way back into Blueface's life. What hurts Chrisean the most isn't the flirting, it's the hypocrisy. She swears she warned Coi over and over again to stay away, and still, Coi kept pushing boundaries. Meanwhile, fans have no idea what's boiling backstage. Nobody knows about the secret studio meetups, the hidden messages, or the night Chrisean claims she finally snapped. And now, with Blueface breaking his silence, the entire story is unraveling in the messiest way possible. Because if what he says is true, then someone is lying, someone is playing dirty, and the truth is uglier than anyone expected. Blueface, Chrisean, and Coi Leray, three names that individually dominate headlines, but together, they create a storm so messy, so unpredictable, that even Hollywood couldn't script this level of chaos. To understand what's happening now, the accusations, the leaked photos, the explosive emotions, we first have to peel back the layers and look at who these celebrities really are. Let's start with Blueface. To many fans, he's the charming troublemaker, the rapper who rose to fame with his offbeat flow, wild personality, and even wilder relationships. But beneath that confident exterior is someone who thrives in controversy. His social media is filled with smirks, cryptic captions, and subtle jabs. One minute he's calm, the next he's fueling rumors with a single tweet like, "People always switch up when the truth comes out." Fans didn't know it then, but that post wasn't random. It was aimed at someone very specific. Then there's Chrisean. She's the fighter, the unpredictable firecracker with a soft heart underneath the chaos. Publicly, she's known for her unfiltered emotions, screaming one minute, crying the next, but always fiercely loyal to whoever she loves. Her life has been a roller coaster, rising from sports to reality TV, then into a turbulent, toxic romance that the entire world watched unfold. To her supporters, she's the girl who survived it all. To her critics, she's the girl who creates the chaos. But one thing is undeniable. When it comes to Blueface, she doesn't play. If someone threatens her relationship, she will defend it, fiercely, emotionally, and sometimes explosively. And finally,
Coi Leray.
Coi is the opposite energy, cool, sleek, controlled. She's built her career with discipline and style, rising from underground buzz to mainstream stardom with hits that dominate TikTok and radio. Her public image is clean, independent, and unbothered. While others feed into drama, Coi usually distances herself from it. At least, that's what people thought. Because behind her carefully curated persona, there were old ties linked directly to Blueface. The two had a brief spark back in 2020, a low-key romance that didn't last long enough to become public drama. But the connection didn't fully disappear. Even after they stopped seeing each other, fans noticed likes on Instagram posts, late-night comment exchanges, and occasional moments where they appeared a little too friendly. Coi always brushed it off, saying things like, "Some people are just cool." Nothing more. But was that the whole truth? This is where Chrisean stepped in, and where things started getting messy. When Chrisean and Blueface went public with their relationship, things were rocky from the start. Breakups, makeups, arguments, apologies. It was an emotional tornado. Chrisean felt insecure, afraid someone from Blueface's past might return just when she thought she had everything under control. And unfortunately for her, rumors began swirling that Coi Leray was trying to reconnect. Fans noticed that whenever Blueface posted something provocative, Coi would mysteriously post a matching mood. A cryptic selfie. A vague caption like, "People always come back when they realize what they lost." At first, nobody connected the dots. But then a small detail blew everything open. During a behind-the-scenes studio session, Leaked photos surfaced online. Photos that showed Coi sitting surprisingly close to Blueface, leaning in, smiling, whispering something into his ear. Blueface looked relaxed. Maybe too relaxed. That's when the internet erupted. Chrisean saw the photos. And, according to insiders, that moment broke her. She felt blindsided, betrayed, and humiliated. She went on social media and posted, "Some people pretend to be your friend, whole time they plotting." Fans immediately recognized the tension, but nobody expected what would happen next. Because then, Coi posted her own message, "Don't let insecure people rewrite history." The posts weren't direct, but everyone knew exactly who they were aimed at. At this point, the public didn't know the full story. They only had ambiguous posts, shady captions, and suspicious photos. But behind those posts was a storm building, one fueled by jealousy, past relationships, and unresolved history. The cameras didn't catch the arguments, the late-night phone calls, the private warnings Chrisean claims she sent Coi. The public didn't see the messages Coi said she never sent. And nobody knew Blueface was about to break his silence. But the truth was already starting to leak, and the scandal was only beginning to unfold. Everything began to spiral the moment those leaked studio photos hit the internet. Screenshots spread like wildfire across X, TikTok, and Instagram, and within minutes, fans were zooming into every tiny detail. Coi Leray leaning in a little too close, Blueface grinning like he was enjoying every second, and the way their shoulders touched just enough to look suspicious. The comments exploded instantly. "Nah, this is messy. Chrisean not gonna like this. Something is going on for sure." Chrisean saw the photos almost immediately. According to someone close to her, she froze for a second, then her entire face changed, like she was watching her worst fear come true. She confronted Blueface on the phone, demanding to know why Coi was even in the studio with him. His explanation was clipped and dismissive. He allegedly told her, "You're reading into it too much. It was just work." But the tone in his voice didn't comfort her. Not even a little. That same night, fans noticed something strange. Coi posted a cryptic story, a simple black background with the words, "Some people get threatened by energy they can't control." Everyone immediately knew who she meant. Within minutes, Chrisean fired back with her own post, "Don't play victim when you know exactly what you're doing." And just like that, the internet chose sides. TikTok creators began breaking down their posts frame by frame, comparing timestamps, analyzing eye rolls in old interviews, and digging up clips from 2020 when Blueface and Coi were first rumored to be talking. Then Jason Lee decided to pour gasoline on the already burning fire. On his show, he revealed that Coi had called him furious over the fact that he interviewed Blueface and Chrisean together, even though the tension between them was already building behind closed doors. Jason said, Coi wasn't happy. She felt blindsided. This changed everything. The question suddenly wasn't whether Coi was innocent. It became why she cared so much. Pressure continued building, and eventually Chrisean snapped. She went live, pacing her room with her voice shaking as she unleashed everything she'd been holding back. She said she warned Coi multiple times to stay away, that she never wanted things to get ugly, but Coi kept pushing boundaries. Her eyes looked teary, her breathing unsteady. Fans flooded the chat. "She's hurt. This is deeper than we know." Blueface causing chaos again. But the most shocking moment happened next. Chrisean admitted that after an event, she confronted Coi in person and, in a heated moment, slapped her with her phone. Witnesses claim Coi looked stunned but was ready to swing back until security stepped in and reminded everyone that Chrisean was pregnant at the time. That part changed the entire narrative. Suddenly people were calling Coi the bigger person, saying she controlled herself when most people wouldn't have. As if things weren't chaotic enough, Blueface's mother Carlisa jumped in and made everything worse. She sided with Coi, hinting that Chrisean was unstable and too emotional. Fans attacked her instantly, accusing her of always taking the side opposite of whoever Blueface is with. Still, others agreed and said Chrisean pushed things too far this time. For a while, everything went eerily quiet. No posts. No comments. No interviews. Fans thought maybe everyone decided to calm down, but insiders said it was the opposite. The silence wasn't peace, it was tension. And then finally Blueface spoke. He appeared in a short video, looking calm like he'd been waiting for the perfect moment to drop his version of the truth. He said, "A lot of people talking. Some stuff is true, some not. But I'm gonna tell y'all what really happened." That one line sent shockwaves through the internet. Thousands of people turned on notifications. Commentators made countdown videos. Fans begged him to expose everything. Because everyone knew that once Blueface started talking, someone's reputation was about to crumble, and the truth behind all this drama would finally begin to surface. The moment Blueface finally broke his silence, everything shifted. His calm tone only made the situation feel heavier, like he was holding back something explosive. Fans leaned in, waiting for him to expose one of the two women completely, but what he said instead made the scandal even more complicated.
He didn't blame Chrisean.
He didn't blame Coi. Instead, he implied that both of them were hiding pieces of the truth. And that one statement created a fallout no one was ready for. Almost instantly, blogs started posting side-by-side timelines of Coi and Blueface's history, comparing their interactions before and after he got with Chrisean. People began dragging up old screenshots, old TikTok likes, old videos where Coi and Blueface had chemistry that didn't look entirely platonic. Suddenly, the narrative flipped. What was once dismissed as harmless or coincidental started to look intentional. Fans wrote things like, "Coi been playing the long game FR, and Chrisean wasn't crazy. She felt the energy." The fallout hit Coi first. Comment sections under her posts turned into battlegrounds. Some fans defended her fiercely, arguing she had no responsibility to Chrisean and that her past with Blueface was irrelevant. Others accused her of hypocrisy, pointing out how she often presented herself as mature, unproblematic, and uninterested in mess, yet somehow always ended up in the middle of it. Every new post she made, even innocent ones, got flooded with comments like, "Sis, why you lying? And so this what you call unbothered?" Meanwhile, Chrisean's world started to crack emotionally. Even though many people supported her, telling her she wasn't wrong for trusting her instincts, others began accusing her of making everything worse. They brought up her past fights, past scandals, times she had lashed out. They said she always claimed loyalty and honesty mattered to her, yet she repeatedly chose chaos. People pointed out the contradiction. She hated other women being close to Blueface, but she herself often broke boundaries in relationships. What hit her the hardest, though, wasn't the fan criticism, it was the family fallout. Her relatives reportedly begged her to step away from the drama, to focus on herself and her baby. But Chrisean felt like walking away meant losing the one thing she'd fought for emotionally. She posted at one point, "I'm tired of people telling me to leave when y'all don't know what it's like to love somebody this hard." It was raw, emotional, and heartbreaking, a sign that this wasn't just a scandal for her. It was personal. Blueface's mom, Carlisa, didn't help. She continued inserting herself into the chaos, posting cryptic messages that made the situation even more confusing. She hinted that Blueface wasn't being fully honest and that both women were being played. Fans couldn't tell whether she was trying to help or just stir drama for attention. One of her comments said, "Everybody always pointing fingers but nobody looking at the man in the middle." That comment went viral instantly. People agreed, saying Blueface was acting innocent while enjoying the fact that two women were fighting over him. As the days went on, the legal consequences began creeping in. Rumors circulated that Coi's team was quietly reviewing Chrisean's admission about the slap incident. At the time it happened, Coi had held back from pressing charges because Chrisean was pregnant, but now, with Chrisean publicly confirming the attack, lawyers were discussing whether that protection still applied. Nothing had been officially filed yet, but insiders said Coi was no longer ignoring the idea of taking action. And then came the biggest blow. Footage leaked from the night of the confrontation. A blurry clip surfaced on Reddit showing silhouettes of two women arguing backstage. The audio was muffled, but you could distinctly hear Chrisean yelling, "I told you not to do that," and Coi responding sharply, "You don't own him." Even though the video wasn't crystal clear, fans believed it was real. It spread everywhere in minutes, reigniting the feud all over again. People began dissecting the contradictions. Coi had always preached independence and not chasing men. Yet here she was, seemingly caught in the middle of a love triangle. Chrisean always talked about loyalty and protecting her peace, yet her actions once again spiraled into physical confrontation. Blueface always claimed he wasn't messy, yet he kept creating situations where drama was unavoidable. The contrast between their public personas and their private actions became the real scandal. Everything they had shown fans about who they were, independent artist, loyal girlfriend, laid-back rapper, clashed with the messy, emotional, chaotic reality happening behind closed doors. And for the first time, everyone watching felt the same thing. No one knew who to believe. No one knew who was the real victim. And worst of all, it finally became clear that the truth wasn't just complicated, it was intentionally hidden. Just when people thought the fallout had peaked, another twist was already waiting to break the internet again. So after everything we've seen, the secrets, the mixed messages, the contradictions, the leaked clips, and the emotional damage this entire situation has caused, the real question now is simple. Who is actually telling the truth? Was Blueface genuinely trying to clear the air, or was he just protecting himself while letting two women take the fall? Did Chrisean react out of pure emotion, or was she acting out the insecurities she'd been holding in for months? And what about Coi? Was she really innocent and caught in crossfire, or did she cross boundaries she never should have touched in the first place? At this point, the internet is completely divided. Some people say Chrisean was justified. Others think Coi was put in an impossible situation. And there's a huge group that believes Blueface created the entire mess and watched from the sidelines while everyone else burned. But what about you? Whose side are you on after hearing all the details? If you were in that situation, would you have reacted the same way Chrisean did? Or would you have walked away before things got physical? And honestly, do you think Coi should take legal action now that Chrisean confirmed everything? Should Blueface be held responsible for letting this happen? Or are all three of them equally at fault? Let me know in the comments because this story is far from over. More footage is already surfacing, more people close to the situation are speaking out, and insiders are hinting that someone, either Coi or Chrisean, is about to drop a major statement that could flip the narrative again. If you want the next update the minute it drops, make sure you like this video, share it, and join the discussion below. Trust me, the next chapter of this drama is going to be even crazier.